So, gentleman asked me if I had any testimonies or just giving an example of things that I've witnessed in the street. I'm originally from Rochester, New York,
New York. You're a New
upstate New
Yorker.
York. Yeah,
Hey, you must
born
be
and
a tough
raised.
guy.
You know, that's relative. When they first come down here, it seems like everybody has that chip on their shoulder. They have that pride and ego of being from New York. After years of being here, it dissipates and realizing that it doesn't matter what borough you're in. There is thorough and serious people everywhere, and every place in certain areas is to be respected. One of the things that I would like to mention is, being out here, I've seen and witnessed the cause and effect of homelessness.
Are you homeless now?
No,
Okay, tell
no,
us
but
more.
at one point in time, yes, I was in the streets, and I was able to get assistance from some of the programs that were out there, but ultimately a better infrastructure needs to be put in place. When you're thinking about people who are homeless, they either have mental issues, addiction, or financial problems, or the combination of all of them. So there's not enough programs available to allow them to take the people off the street. I mean, and there's an epidemic going on right now with people being homeless. Not to mention it's illegal.
Yeah,
So
it's illegal to sleep in public places.
it's
They
illegal,
recently passed that law,
right?
correct?
So therefore, you're talking about if you are residently challenged or doesn't have a shelter, you go to jail. Especially with after COVID, how people were staying in people's homes without paying, meaning that the landlords then now
Couldn't
had to
kick them out.
force.
The
Yeah,
land they temporarily stopped the evictions.
right, exactly. So basically, landlords were left holding the bag. So now, when the epidemic was lifted, they want first, last security deposit. It takes anywhere between $5,000 to $7,000 to move into just a regular two-bedroom,
See, they
home.
thought they were doing people a favor by suspending evictions, but
Right.
all it really did, people don't understand. If it's harder for a landlord to get you out, it's going to be a lot harder to get in to start with.
Absolutely. And that being said, now there's such restrictions. Landlords obviously want to cover their bases and get first, last security. So it's a sacrifice to be able to get assistance. And when you're talking about taking away people's right to just live, to be. If they don't have a place to live, as long as they're not causing any commotions or any problems, to know that you run the risk of going to jail. I feel that's an infringement on your rights as an American. I feel like there's got to be a better infrastructure put into place.
How much is that law enforced here in Pinellas County? Do they
It
enforce it a lot,
They
or
enforce it
or
with
is it spotty?
discrimination. They enforce it with the officers picking and choosing who they want to enforce it on, right? So, they come at people that either they've seen a lot or they suspect of being users. Everybody, I was told by one
You mean
officer,
drug users?
right, right, or any kind, right.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, I was told by an officer that everybody with a book bag is suspicious of having drugs on them. Like 90% of people with book bags. So if you think about it, you're homeless, you have a book bag, you're trying to do the best you can, you're trying to survive, and now you're being harassed because you don't have a flashlight on your bike or it's not working. So you run the risk of going to jail, but there's not the infrastructure. There's not enough shelters. They're in the ones that are, they're corruptly run. They're picking and choosing who they're letting in. Right before you're about to get funding to get into a home, they cut you out. They send you, they kick you out of the program, but yet they collect from the state. So there's not any type of programs for mental disability. There's not any programs um, for residently challenged people, uh, like Safe Harbor, bed bugs, ran like a jail, Tent City. Basically,
Those are
you're
two different homeless shelters:
two
Safe
different,
Harbor
right?
and Tent
Yeah,
City.
Tent City, which is Pinellas Hope. These places even though they're doing the best they can, and they have, there are a lot of bright spots within the program, ultimately is flawed because of the people that are placed in authority, that are picking and choosing who they want to help for whatever reasons, and right before they're about to get funded, they get their legs cut from underneath them. But one of the biggest situations is just especially in Pinellas County, it's the law enforcement is trained like a police state. There seems to be like quotas and pressure on the officers for convictions to the point where they're planning. I've seen on video cops plant drugs in people's cars that they feel like they should be arrested, right?
When's the last time you had any interaction with law enforcement at all?
2 years ago.
You haven't even said hi to a cop in 2 years?
Absolutely. I go out of my way not to. And that being said, my
Wow.
father was in law enforcement. So
in New York?
No, here.
Okay.
So I realize that there's a lot of good men trying to do a lot of good things. Not everybody is corrupt. It's not all, right? But at the end of the day, when it comes down to the discrimination is prevalent. And it's unfortunate because it seems like they're separating the wheat from the weeds, so to speak, right? I feel like ultimately there's not enough support systems put in place to help the problem that's at hand, and it really needs to be addressed from the top down.
What's your living situation these days? Where are you living now?
Well, right now I'm staying with family.
Good, okay.
I'm in the process of
Nothing wrong with
generating this
that.
$8,000 that I'm gonna need to get into a place. To the point where it got so bad, I moved with my father in Alabama.
What kind of work you do?
I'm a graphic artist, and I do sales over the phone. So anything like energy conservation products.
You're a telephone salesman. You work in energy rooms. Check that out.
Absolutely, right? I mean, well, I work remotely, but so I'm interested.
So you do phone sales from home or wherever you
right,
sit
wherever
down.
there's internet, right? So I was able to go to Alabama and have my job follow me. That being said, I think that if the situation was dissected, analyzed, and from the top down, be able to create some type of support, there'll be less people getting arrested, less people being subjected to living in the streets, and more beneficial programs.
If your bus is here, don't let us hold you up.
No, I do have to go. But
okay.
You know what I would like to do? You have a card?
Do I have any in the truck?
Or information? Because you know what? We can.
Hey, you want to give your phone number on the video?
Yeah.
Here.
You ready?
Yeah, take this back, sit down, give us your phone number, then go get your bus.
Okay. So phone number is 656-212-9650. I would like to try to set up a time where I can gather my thoughts and then create something that would be obviously worthy of YouTube.
What's your number?
727. No,
guys are doing great.
area code 813. 813 863 1479. Yep.
All right, yeah, I got more interviews.
All right, cool.
I actually put some real people in front of you that got real.
I'll give you a call right now.
All right.